Hello, everybody. It's Coolio. If you don't know, and it is time for some more of the Timespinner Randomizer tournament here on Speedgaming 4. This is an elimination matchup, the second chance fourth round matchup between third seeded Ehseezed and 13th seeded Duckie2010. And I am joined today by Jim the Eternal.
Hello, happy to be here, Coolio.
Good to be here. I'm sure it's going to be a good night.
Oh yeah, this is going to be great. I am about to drop the gate on our runners, and well, then they'll be off. And these are two really great runners. So we are in the second chance bracket, deep into the second chance bracket. SGLIVE on the left, Duckie2010 on the right. Both of them are fighting for their tournament life here and fighting to get into the top 8. So at this point, there's no duffers. Everybody here is a contender. Everybody here is real and ready to fight. So I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. And our players have received the signal to go. And as soon as the broadcast catches up here, we will keep you informed on the events that are happening in today's matchup.
Yeah. Is there anything that you want to see, Coolio?
Well, it is the first seed that I have generated. So, everyone has their own vibe, and I don't know what mine is, but all I can say is I generated a seed for myself the other day, and once again had to last location Cantorin, so...
Oh no. Well, from a spectator's perspective, it's always fun to see disaster seeds, but I'm hoping for something clean. I'm hoping for something that lets our runners kind of show off their technical skill. For
sure. It's a different vibe if you're going to go for a speedy seed where you get just everything up front and just who's going to make that correct move first. Or sometimes it's just as good to see something absolutely chaotic where you have to just pull everything together and just get it going. Looks like Ehseezed did not prime his randomizer, so it's going to take a couple of extra seconds.
But we're starting with Fire Orb, Neutral, and Bombardment minus. Fire Orb, not the worst start. Fire is a fine orb. It's got a bunch of different hits, even though the individual hits are low damage. And it does start our runners with Fire for the purposes of progression. Bombardment minus is a little bit of a bummer to see. Bombardment's such a good spell, but at minus, it's barely worth using.
Yeah, it does a lot of hits, but... For a minus, they're not going to be very strong. Oh, Empress Robe.
Oh, that's a nice start. So that'll go a long way towards fixing some of the damage issues that they get from just having a neutral orb. Of course, we'll see what comes up. They've got a lot of time before they need to fight anything relevant.
And then the 3 starting chests have one of the trap. I think it was a bee trap.
It looked like a bee trap, yep. And not a whole lot else. So we'll see what our runners come up with. Expecting both of our runners to head left here, kind of like Zed is doing right now, yep. Okay. And now that Duckie's stream is caught up, we are seeing Duckie also crossing the broken bridge over here, heading towards the Lake Serene teleporter. Probably just going to grab the port and then head on to the east side. We did see, oh my god, Celestial Sash. That's amazing. We did see a map check from Duckie, so checking to see whether or not stuff is flooded. And, yep. Just to be immediately heading over to that right side. So Celestial Sash is huge. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, no, I absolutely can. Celestial Sash is pretty much all the vertical that you'll ever need. Just a couple of button presses, and you'll just keep going up until you hit a wall.
Zed taking the time to check the map and equip that Empress Robe, and then following in Duckie's footsteps over here to the right side of the map. So nobody heading into Lake Serene, although Celestial Sash does unlock that. That would have been a really interesting thing to see. But that would have... It's a bit of a difficult position, right? Because then you have to beat Azure Queen in order to feel like you made it worth it, and nobody wants a boss fight this early with these kind of stats.
Yeah, exactly. I know all about that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, you and required Cantorin. So no divergence just yet. Although, Zed is heading over towards the bottom warp. This is a slight divergence here. This is going to give Zed a little bit more mobility later on, like being able to warp down here instead of needing to traverse it. And also checking Bat Ledge, which is in logic with a Celestial Sash. So, a neat play. But
nothing up there, so we'll have to see what happens in the Caves of Banishment.
Yeah, I didn't see did Zed save? I didn't see him go into the save room.
I don't think so.
Okay. So a lot of the times what we'll see is people come down this way, and they can only get 2 of the available checks in this area because a bunch of them are gated by the water mask. And they'll grab the save down there in order to quit out and come back to the save point if nothing in here is relevant.
Well, I sure hope that Ehseezed save, because that is a very low HP.
It really is. But maybe he's just planning on taking this teleporter room over here on the side. Yep.
Okay.
Narrowly made it.
That is safe. Oh, Eternal Crown for Ducky. Just all
Nice.
the equipment coming up.
Yeah. So Ducky definitely coming up strong here, right? Ducky has not made any of these kind of side plays like Zed has, but none of these plays have really paid off for Zed. He did find Ice Orb Plus, so that might be a little bit more damage in the right situation, but Ice Orb is kind of a situational orb, even if it is more damage.
Situational.
But it is one that Zed likes, so he's kind of in his comfort zone with Ice Plus.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, maybe a lot of players are not going to look at the Ice Orb as something very strong, but I mean, if that's your play style, if you want to go for a closer game, then absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the things that the damage randomizer flag exists for is to kind of spread people out from their comfort zone so that they can explore other options that they might not play with, because, you know, if the thing you like is minus and new things are plus, then you kind of have to try the new thing and see if it works for you.
And Ducky making good use of that Aura Serpent.
Absolutely, yeah. You definitely nice to have some big spells in that room.
And now we got Ehseezed going to the castle as well.
Yeah, Zed being really completionistic here, you know, stopping for Bombardiers. I'm not sure if Ducky stopped for Bombardiers.
I am not sure, but I think so, come to think of it.
But nice to check, given that sash.
Absolutely,
And,
there's going to be a lot more checking going on, and if the Oculus ring should come up as well, that would be even more checks on the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we are playing with that I Spy flag, meaning that the breakable walls are not breakable until you have the Oculus ring, the in-game item that lets you see where breakable walls are.
There's the Eternal Crown for Ehseezed.
Yep. Yeah, so following behind Ducky, quite a bit behind, but with a lot more checks under his belt. So when Ducky finishes up with the castle, maybe she goes to those same places and sees the things that Zed's already found, and that gives him time to catch up. In the meantime, though, this Sash giving them a lot of options. Normally we'd see some more restricted routing, but Sash kind of lets them go almost wherever they want. And we see Ducky immediately heading into Ilana's towers, which is a great call. You can use that Sash for all of your vertical needs, and this also gives access to warp shards. Although Ducky seems to have found present access in between now and then, so maybe we'll see something else here.
Yeah, where did that happen? I completely missed that.
You know, everybody's focused on Zed's side. But yeah, Ducky found access to the library, which is nice. An even easier way to get those warp shards. No real... there's a lot of key cards that are required.
Oh, there's the Oculus ring.
Wow. Okay, so let me finish that thought. There's a lot of different key cards required in the present to give you access to the various areas there. And none of those have been found yet.
And the spindle.
So, not a whole lot of freedom here. And I take it all back. They have all the freedom.
Wow, just everything coming up on Ducky's side.
Yeah, incredible library. So that Oculus ring means that breakable walls are now in play for Ducky. Zed's going to want to head to that library as soon as he can in order to pick that up. We'll see how long it takes him to get over there, though. And then Ducky also found one of the 5 pieces of the Timespinner, the Timespinner Spindle. Those are our MacGuffins for Endgame. We need to find 5 pieces of the Timespinner and then find a way into the Ancient Pyramid. There's multiple ways to do that, of course.
And of course, the wheel and spindle will also give you present access, but that's not how we're getting into the present on this seed for sure.
Yeah. There's
a library warp for Ehseezed.
Yep. So underneath the Golden Idol fight. And then we're probably going to see a similar play from Zed here, checking this room to the right and then heading towards the towers, towards that warp.
And there's Golden Idol fight.
Oh, wow. Nice find. Yeah. So Zed also fading the Golden Idol fight. A lot of boss fights that people are kind of hesitant to take early on in the seed when you can come back to it later. and take it with more progression, with more stats, and have an easier time of it.
That's true, but considering how well equipped our players are, there's not a whole lot to worry about. Maybe there's still some of that baked-in anxiety of fighting a boss this early, but you know, Empress Robe, Empire Crown, you don't got a whole lot to worry about.
That's true. The equipment is definitely kind of solved. I would, if I was in their position, I would want a few more levels. I would want maybe some better orbs, but they could probably take quite a lot at this point, especially with Sash providing all the mobility they would need.
Here comes Duckie2010, which has Varnagray.
So this is a not too painful position for the Varnagroth fight. Ilana, kind of a medium level boss, does a bit of damage.
Is that in keycard B?
Going to be a little bit of work to dodge some of those fires, some of those missiles, but Varnagroth is weak to fire, so that fire orb that Ducky is wielding is going to do a decent amount of damage.
Absolutely. Just tearing through the boss here.
Oh, she found Infernal Flames earlier, too. That's pretty good.
Infernal Flames. Plasma Orb over on Ehseezed side.
Yep.
Which I don't think Ducky has.
Ooh, no.
There's the wheel.
Ducky doesn't have the wheel either. Oh, that's a really big find.
So now we have some disparity. We have some branching, and it's getting a little hard to tell who actually is in front.
Yeah, Ducky having most of Ilana's towers under her belt, but Zed heading off towards the Lake Desolation part of the present. So seeing an entirely new area.
And keycard D just getting all of the keycards here for Ducky.
That's a lot of really important stuff, actually. D-card D closes off almost half of the present, given their warp, right? Starting at the library, you need the D card to get out of the library and head to the east. So that's a lot of checks that are gated by the D card, which may or may not be relevant. I mean, it's randomizers, right? Who can tell?
Right.
But that is a huge swath of checks that you're going to want to have access to at some point, probably.
Yeah, you see that taking on a very quick Ifrit fight at Boots.
Ifrited Boots, yep, love it. You always love to see one of those endgame bosses at the starting location.
Absolutely. Oh, there is the Time-Worn Warp Beacon for Ehseezed.
So this is their warp beacon for to get back into the past. So they already have past access to all of the warps that they visited, but this actually unlocked a new warp that neither of them have visited before, the Maw location. Was it Maw entrance or the Maw fight?
I missed that. Maw Cave entrance looked like from
Maw entrance, yep. So that's a really nice find because it gives them a new location that they can warp to, kind of move around in the past a little bit easier.
Oh wait, we found a gear. Ducky has a gear.
Yeah, I think found that in Ilana's tower as well. So Ilana's tower definitely had the goods. A lot of valuable stuff in there.
Now Ducky does have the Oculus ring, so I'm going to take those opportunities to open up the secret rooms. Royal ring.
That's cool.
Not too bad, but is minus.
Yeah, we saw plasma minus, so
plasma minus.
Probably not going to get used for anything other than a key for that Yas Queen room.
Exactly. Ehseezed going into sealed caves.
With an A card in hand, so this might actually be a Zerian play. No,
where was the A card?
Somewhere in Lower Desolation. So Zed's still in Desolation, the future lake, or present lake, and Ducky in the past, in Lake Serene.
Which is indeed, well, the first part of it is flooded. We'll see about the second part, too.
And Zed now heading to that Serene area. I think Zed is going to want to burn those vines and finish up all of his access to Lake Desolation.
Ducky fighting Nightmare.
This is Nightmare at Azure Queen, I think?
I think so.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh,
Zed going straight into the Cantorin fight. Sandman at Cantorin. This is actually completely understandable for Zed. Sandman is weak to ice, and Zed has found the Frozen Spire's spell, as well as the Ice Melee Orb. So he has a ton of damage here. This is going to be a cakewalk for him.
Ehseezed taking advantage of his preferred weapon here, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really good luck for Zed that the weapon that he likes so much has ended up being, plus and available. So very convenient.
That is Nightmare down for Ducky. And Sandman down for Ehseezed.
Yep.
So that means the game is over, right?
Pretty much, yeah, I think so. Those are the final 2 bosses, that's it. No
Ducky
good
getting
rewards,
Kobo.
unfortunately, from the Cantorin fight. But Ducky finding Kobo, yep, just like you said, behind Azure Queen.
That does open one of the optional boss locations, which Ducky is currently near. Let's see if she decides to go that way. It looks like probably.
Yeah, Ducky's
not.
mostly been avoiding the boss fights, right? We saw an Alana fight, but we didn't see a Golden Idol fight, we didn't see a Cantorin fight.
It's Plasma Orb Ducky. And the
There's
wheel.
that wheel. And now following Zed into the Lake Desolation area. So we're going to see a lot of the same checks covered. It's still hard to say who's ahead, if at all, right? Ducky has a gear that Zed doesn't, but neither of them have pyramid access anyway. And Zed still has a bunch of checks that Ducky hasn't gotten. So
Yeah, right.
At any point,
Right.
Ducky could decide to spend the time to go see the stuff that Zed's already seen.
Yeah, right now, strictly by the numbers, Ducky is ahead, but it's still anyone's game.
Absolutely, yeah. Still very close here.
Ehseezed on Nightmare while Ducky takes on Ifrit Boots.
Mm-hmm. So this should be a quick fight on both sides. Ducky's struggling to find that safe spot. There is a safe spot underneath Ifrit, and Ducky's spending a lot of time trying to get safe when this is a fairly low HP fight. She could have been out of here seconds ago, minutes ago.
Also, Ducky using fire on fire. That's probably not going to go well.
Yeah, I think Ducky not really landing on a weapon that she prefers here. Kind of swapping between a bunch of stuff, seeing what works and what doesn't. And
both bosses down at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And Aura Serpent and Inferno kind of not cutting it against Ifrit.
That's the Time-Worn Beacon for Ducky.
Yeah. Probably see a Maw Caves dip from Ducky fairly soon. I imagine she'll finish going through this Desolation area here. I+!
Ooh, I+.
Okay, so I+ was locked behind fire, which explains why Zed doesn't have it yet. But this, I think, is the weapon that Ducky is going to land on and not move from. I+, very strong.
I can definitely see that play happening. I mean, Eye Orb, that's a lot of hits in a short amount of time. Mm-hmm. With that plus, like, that's going to be a strong weapon.
Yep. And it plays really well with a jewelry box loadout swapping. I'm not sure if Ducky is a fan of using that particular technique, but Eye is like the poster child for just utter decimation using it.
Now, Ehseezed going into an area we haven't seen yet in this run.
Mm-hmm. Nothing so far out of the Maw Caves. Zed doing the usual save here to potentially quit out and save a bit of time on the backtrack if these items aren't useful. And
like
they aren't.
Nothing good downstairs, so Ehseezed's going to quit and reload.
Mm-hmm. Ducky, meanwhile, checking all of the desolation areas that Zed's already been, picking up that Frozen Spires.
And we got a gear.
If she goes for it. Ooh, and there's a gear in the Maw Caves.
There's a gear in the Maw Caves. That's 3 versus 3 right now.
Mm-hmm.
It is a close race.
I'm actually interested to see whether or not Ducky starts to use the Frozen Spires. Yeah, that's the A key card in Lower Desolation.
That's going to give Ducky access to everything in the present except for the top of the elevator and the library room.
Speaking of the elevator, Zed found the elevator keycard in the jackpot room in the Maw Caves. So that's
a pretty good jackpot.
Yeah, between the two of them, I think they have full access to the present now. They just need some laser gates, which we haven't seen even one of yet.
No one has found laser access yet. I had noticed that.
Wonder what that says for the seed.
I
guess we'll find out later.
Let's see if we get one of the laser accesses behind the Zarian fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So no water mask yet. No laser access codes. No gas mask either, although that's pretty minor. But we collectively know about 4 of the Timespinner pieces. And we don't know yet how our runners are getting into the lab, or into the pyramid. So there's 2 ways to potentially get into the pyramid, right? So there's the pyramid beacon, which will just warp you to one of the places in the pyramid, much like the other beacons that we've already found. And then if they have access to the lab on the east side of the present, which does require those 3 laser access codes, then they can break time after the Genza fight and force their way into the ancient pyramid that way.
Provided that they have all 5 pieces of the time spinner.
Yeah, they would have to have all 5 pieces of the time spinner already at that point. So Zed back into the present now, having cleared up all that he wants to in the Maw Caves.
And the Yasmin Room Pendulum.
Pendulum and max health up.
Max health up. Pendulum good to get early on because of the poison resistance, but at this point, we're probably not going to see a lot of trouble.
Probably not going to see much of it. I doubt it's going to get equipped on Zed's side. But Zed now heading into Alana's Towers. So we know that Ducky's been here. We know what he's in for. And what he's in for is a whole lot, actually. He's going to be
that's
getting
another gear.
Yes, that is Ducky's gear out of the Maw Caves as well.
Yes.
So Ducky now has all 4 of the gears we know about.
We still don't know where that last gear is.
But he's going to get it on the way here. This is we know that there's a couple of key cards and the gear over here in Alana's Towers, and it's not checks that Zed's going to miss. Like, there's nothing here that's skippable.
I feel like the best move for Ducky probably is the Varnagroth Towers.
Yeah, I mean, we want to see something new, right? We want to make sure that Ducky goes and gets stuff that we haven't seen yet, because that's where the next gear is going to be, or that's where the next piece of progression is going to be.
And she does have access to the entirety of the towers at this point.
She is, I think, a bit ahead. So I'll switch the audio to Ducky's side. Zed's is a little low anyway.
Sounds good. Of course, the only issue is Ducky's stream being a little spotty, but
yeah, hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
If we see another pause, we can switch the audio back again. But yeah, Ducky going through the tail end of that Maw Cave, and then she's got some decisions to make. Without the water mask, I think going through the upper banished Siren's Cave is going to be not super tempting. But it looks like that's her plan. So she's warped out without getting that chest because by bringing the elevator up, it kind of opens that hole. So then when you're going through there on your own, you can just kind of walk through there and pick it up while not needing to sidetrack too much.
It does save a little bit of time. And he sees it just tearing through Varnagray.
And I think she hasn't yet checked Bat Ledge either. So this is a good excuse to get the broken wall above Bat Ledge, pick up Bat Ledge, and then go through the upper part of the Caves of Banishment, which we know isn't going to be anything. Zed's already been through all of this territory.
And speaking of Zed, just got the last of the security key cards. So also has access to much of the present, but still doesn't... Oh, but yes, does have the elevator key card. Yep. So also could be playing the towers.
Yeah, and as soon as he finishes this up, as soon as he gets the gear at the bottom, they'll be at progression parity, I think.
Kind of starting to look like this is just no lab here.
Yeah. And this is kind of exactly what I was talking about. Ducky looked like she was ahead for a lot of this, and now they're kind of catching up, both visiting all of the places that the other person has already been, and Zed coming out maybe a fraction of a second ahead now that they visited all the places, right? Ducky just finishing up those caves that Zed's already been through, and Zed now going through the library and probably heading to the Ifrit fight.
Did Ducky make these checks up here?
Ducky has checked, I think, the checks up here, but didn't fight Ifrit when she went through before.
Didn't fight Ifrit. Okay, let's see what boss lies.
Yeah, this is a roll of the dice for sure.
Realm of time.
So Ducky skipping the Ifrit fight again. All right, Genza's not too bad for this position. Ducky skipping Ifrit fight again and heading towards the elevator towers with that elevator access key.
There's got to be something good there.
You would think. There's definitely a lot of checks to be made in the elevator towers.
Now,
so go ahead.
One thing to note as well is the fact that even if one of our players were to find the last piece of the time center right now, neither player has access to the pyramid yet. So they still need to find that last access, whether it's through the lab or more likely the last Twin Pyramid key.
I think what Zed's going to be hoping for is finding that, that pyramid access, that mysterious warp beacon here behind Ifrit. That would be very, very strong for him.
Absolutely.
Ducky, meanwhile, going through the elevator towers, like the first person who finds one laser access. The first person who finds that mysterious warp beacon is probably going to be pretty far ahead.
Absolutely. And of course, there is a tiny chance that they're going to find that laser. Oh, geez, Ehseezed just taking a death.
Oh, that's so painful.
Oh,
and his last save was back in the Maw Caves. Oh no.
That is 2 gears that Ehseezed has just lost, as well as all the key card.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. That's a lot of time to make up. So he knows where the gear is over here in the Maw Caves. If he remembers what else there was, he'll know to go get the elevator key card and probably skip out on the rest of it. Because he's definitely just got to recover all of his progression and get back to where he was.
There's the elevator key card.
Looks like he's going to make it the rest of the way through the Maw Caves.
2 laser accesses for Ducky, and she takes on the dreaded Raven Lord, but makes quick work. No problem at all. And
Varney not a very scaled position either. So Raven Lord at Varney, definitely a quick fight.
Quick and reload, because nothing good up there. I still only have 2 laser accesses, so the lab is not in play yet. There's at least a couple more checks, especially with the tablet coming out for Ducky.
Yeah, so that's kind of a nice find. That's going to open up a bunch of checks back in the library. And Ducky definitely ahead in the progression here. Whew, God, what a hard death for Zed. That put him so far behind.
Ducky just got pyramid access.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Ducky still going for the Siren Caves, which is, I think, an interesting play. Maybe just going for the warp. Yep,
no, just going straight to the pyramid. There is a tiny chance that last gear could be in the pyramid. That is part of the logic that's in play here.
So we'll see if Ducky finds it. There's the water mask. Oh my god. Oh, so much progression all at once.
Keycard C is back in Ehseezed's hands.
Yeah, Ehseezed gonna pick up the keycard C, keycard D, and the gear from here in Alana's Towers, but it's gonna be a bit. Always a struggle to make it through here.
Not sure what's in that chest for Ducky.
Yeah, I guess we'll never find out.
Unless it's one of the gears, we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, with that death for Zed, this definitely feels like it's Ducky's game to lose. Like
Absolutely.
she's got such an advantage now, so it's just a matter of how she uses it and whether she gets to the right place.
Yeah, Ducky now going into the regret area, which not a whole lot of regret because both of our players do have the Celestial Sash, so it's not going to be a whole lot of deal to get out of there. But nothing to be found, so that's another quick and reload. B-trap on Ehseezed.
But yeah, Ducky at this point is the only one finding new things. Zed knows that he has to be here in Alana's Towers, but it's nothing new. It's all stuff that he knows that he's already seen and knows that he needs to get again.
Just a matter of remembering where it is.
Yep. Redoing the Varney at Alana fight, and once again a piece of cake. Just really falls quickly to the equipment that Zed has and is very comfortable with.
Absolutely, and that is all the key cards back in Ehseezed's hands. Ducky just finishing up in the pyramid, finding not really much, so it's down to the sealed caves.
So the real question is, once Zed finishes up here in Alana's, he'll be back at progression parity from where he was before. Does he go for Ifrit again? That was a hard fight, it looked like.
Well, as long as he doesn't try to fight fire with fire, I think he's going to be fine. Oh, Ducky found the last gear!
There it is. Where was it? Siren Caves?
Yeah, it wasn't Siren Caves.
Siren Caves is always funny.
So the logic was to go to the pyramid, get the water mask, go back to the Siren Cave, and get the third gear.
Okay, yeah, intricate. The pyramid double dip.
Present Nuvius is our past Nuvius is our first fight here.
Mm-hmm. And Ducky moving into the final bosses. I think unless Ducky has some trouble with these fights, it's pretty much over. And Ducky's proven pretty competent when it comes to fights.
Absolutely. And the winner of this match will be going on to the 5th round, going up against second-seeded Batty Mass Index. Also to note that this is a bit of a seed upset because Ehseezed was 3rd, Duckie2010 was 13th. So playing a little above her weight class, but still, that death for Ehseezed was pretty much the nail in the coffin there.
That was rough. That was very rough.
Final boss.
Ducky going the right directions though, right? Like Zed checking a lot of places that didn't have the progression that he needed. Meanwhile, Ducky going into the elevator towers, finding kind of everything that she needed, finding the warp beacon, finding that the scuba mask, the water mask in the pyramid, and following it in the right way. So some good calls on her side. Absolutely.
And another good call using that high potion just at the last second here. Don't want to take a death now for sure. And that is game with a final time of just waiting for that
looks like a 29:23 out of the race time room.
Oh, the race time room hasn't actually. Oh, there we go. I wasn't looking at the right place. Yes, 29:23 is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sub 30. We don't have a whole lot of those. 28 bonks. That was a nice, speedy seed.
Yeah, very quick. Well raced. Well raced. Hey, Ducky, welcome to the booth.
Which...
Oh my god, I'm shaking.
Well, yeah. You did an excellent job.
It was a very close race for a lot of it. What you might not know is, unfortunately, Ehseezed took a pretty big death that sent him back about 5-10 minutes of progression. But aside from that, it was pretty close.
So, how you feeling about that seed, Ducky?
It was an interesting seed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, yeah, I got my PB apparently, according to the race room. So.
Hey, nice. Congratulations on your on-stream sub 30. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Oh man, I almost got the water mask in pyramid being required was an interesting.
Yeah, so talk to us about your routing. You go into the elevator towers, you find 2 of the laser key accesses, you find the mysterious warp beacon, and then you head to the pyramid, you find that water mask. What are you thinking at that point?
I think I might have cursed out loud. Yeah, it was just so I got the mysterious warp beacon, and I was like, well, I have Celestial Sash, and I'm like, I have to do, because it wasn't an inner ancient pyramid, so I was like, well, I have to do this anyway, so I might as well go do this now. And so I find the water mask, and I'm just like, damn it. And I almost went back to Lake Serene, and then I'm like, no, I should probably finish up the Siren Cave first, because it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right there.
And that turned out to be the right place. So.
Yeah, I mean, the beginning of the seed fairly linear, and once things opened up, you made all the right calls. It played out really well for you.
Yeah, I made all of the calls that have burned me in the past and not doing them.
Oh, that's a randomizer for you. So sometimes it's just a matter of making the right call at the right time, and sometimes you're not really sure if it's the right call, but you only know when you get there.
Yeah.
We have Zed checking out some of the onesie twosies that he feels like maybe might have been the thing that he missed, but we're seeing a forfeit from Zed as well now that it's all over. So we'll probably grab him into the booth relatively soon. Hey, Zed.
Hey.
First of all, GG's, Ducky.
GG.
The personal best on the race time room.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah, very well raced by both of you. It was neck and neck until that honestly heartbreaking death at the Ifrit location.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep, it was unfortunate. I thought I had saved in the library, so I was comfortable taking the fight. Apparently, I hadn't saved in like 4 save points, so... Oops.
They
Yeah,
really
back in mall
often.
locations, and you rewound Ilana's towers as well, so that's a bunch to fight through.
Yeah. So I was gonna do the Ifrit locations into the library, but after I died, I was like, well, maybe I gamble and it's in Zarian Caves, and I look over as I'm starting to enter Zarian Caves, and it's like, oh, Ducky is finished. Yeah, okay.
Did you want to know what the progression was from where you are?
It's got to be in library somewhere, right?
It was Mysterious Warp Beacon in Varnagroth Tower into Water Mask in Pyramid into the last gear was in Siren's Cave.
Oh, okay. I was a bit further off than I thought I was. I with how quick Ducky had finished, I figured I was like, you know, one quick dip into the library to find last gear and like inner warp pyramid, because I didn't feel like I was all that behind until I took that death.
You weren't, honestly. The choice was you went to the Ifrit location at around the same time that Ducky was going into the elevator towers.
Okay,
So
that makes
Ducky
sense.
was
That
finding the
makes sense.
mysterious warp beacon right as you took your death.
No, yeah, that sounds about right. I was trying to make some plays. I was pretty comfortable with my equipment, and then I happened across the like one boss that is terrible with Ice Orb.
Right.
Whatever. You live and learn.
Yeah, I mean, just a really like kind of stark call out in the differences in routing, right? Just the ways in which you routed your seed didn't pan out this time, and everything came up Ducky.
Yeah. Such as randomizer.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I also think
Well-
with this win, I might have officially won more matches than James has. Because I got knocked into loser's bracket real early.
It's definitely been a struggle to work your way back up, for sure. Zed, unfortunately, that is your last race of this tournament. But it's been a pleasure racing with you and calming with you. I hope we'll see you in the commentary booth for some of the future matches.
Oh, for sure.
Great.
Honestly, it's all for the better. For all my people that are in university, that's starting up soon. It's starting up this upcoming week for me. I know some people have already started, so it's probably for the better that I'm not in the tournament anymore.
I'm a bit past college age.
Yeah,
Just
totally
a little
fair.
bit.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
Ducky, congratulations. With this win, you are in the top 8, and you're going up against the 2nd seed Batty Mass Index for your next match in the second chance bracket.
Yeah, and it's quite it's going to be quite a ladder to climb here. There's Batty Mass Index, then it's the Lunar Ray Games, then it's the winner of Jim the Eternal and Waffle Soup, and ending the second chance bracket with Windfay Maiden. But never mind all of that. Survive in advance. That's all you can do, one game at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take top 8 as the 13th seed, statistically speaking.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. So as far as the Timespinner tournament, we don't have any more matches yet on the docket. So we're going to have to ask you to stay tuned for those.
Well, I believe Ducky and Batty might have a time, or at least a preliminary time, just to keep the tournament moving along. Batty reached out to both of us, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a long weekend here in Canada, so I'm probably not going to be home.
Oh.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah.
You've earned it.
Yeah. So that's so just stay tuned. We're gonna have those dates for you as soon as we can, which might not be until after the long weekend, but you know, it is as it is. Otherwise, elsewhere in the Speed Gaming Network, we got plenty of Metroid. We got a Metroid Prime 2 of them running right now over on Speed Gaming 3 and 5, if I'm reading this right. Oh, it's 6 and 5. As well as right here on Speed Gaming 4, we're going to have a Zelda 1 randomizer online matchup between Malkir and Psytown. That's going to be starting around 9:15 or so Eastern Daylight Time, and plenty of more races here on the Speed Gaming Network. It's going to be a great night, folks.
Yeah, quick shout out to Speed Gaming. Thank you for supporting Timespinner. Thank you for supporting Randomizers. It's been great having this infrastructure set up for our tournament, and just really happy to be here.
Absolutely.
For sure. I know some of us have done our own homebrew live streams, and it's a lot more work on the back end than you'd think. Like,
Absolutely.
having this nice infrastructure is so helpful.
Well, I think I'm out of questions. So, any final thoughts from our runners? Ducky, any last words?
Wishlist Timespinner 2.
Wishlist
Timespinner
Timespinner 2.
2.
Yes, Unwoven Dream will be coming out sometime.
When it's ready.
When it's ready.
I'm sure Bodhi will let us know when it's ready.
I'm so excited. Zed, any thoughts?
No. GG's. Keep watching the rest of this tournament. It's been so much fun.
Oh, definitely.
Julio, got anything else to say?
Not really much. So, if that's everything from everyone, then that's pretty much gonna do it for tonight. So, for our restreamer speaking for runners Ehseezed and Duckie2010, please follow them if you would like, and follow us commentators if you'd like as well. I think that's it. So, till next time, I'm Coolier if you don't know, along with Jim the Eternal.
GG's, thanks for having me.
We'll see you guys next time.
Take care, everyone.